myself about making the mistakes, you know what I mean? Not saying that I can't make mistakes now that I'm 30, of course not, but you know what I mean? Like taking those chances, doing those things. And I feel like I learned a lot in my 20s. Definitely. And I think being a really young mother, oopsie, my tablet went off. But yeah, I feel like being a young mom also contributed to like trials and tribulations that I went through in my 20s. Alright, so let's just jump in. So we're not here for like 3 hours. So I have my tablet. Honestly, I wish I had another phone. Because I write things on my phone in the notes and then I just share it to my tablet. But I wish I had a phone just to do content and whatever. Anyways, not important. Alright, so let's just jump right in. This is not in any particular order. So yeah. So number one thing I learned in my 20s was you are never too old to start a hobby. I started my YouTube channel in, I believe, 2020. So I was probably, like 25. ASMR channel at that too. I feel like that's super niche. And of course, people had their opinions and comments, but like who cares, right? About a few months ago, I started coloring, which is so fun. I have my sticker book that I love. I'm always looking for new stickers to put, you know what I mean? Like, it's an outlet for me. It's a way for me to have fun. Fun doesn't stop at a certain age, okay? You should be able to have fun at 5 years old, at 15, at 25, at 55, 75, 105. That should never stop, honestly. I feel like that mentality comes from very serious people who feel like because they're adults they should stop having fun. I don't know, I don't get it. But it would never be me. I have so many things, random things that I'm like, I want to learn how to do this, and like for one reason or another I haven't gotten the chance to, but like I don't check it off, I don't mark it off as like, well, yeah, my time is up for learning that new thing, you know what I mean? So yes, you're never too old to start a new hobby. That one thing you want to try, or you said you want to do it. Start, look into it, look how to start. I promise you, you'll be so much happier doing something for yourself. Alright, number decision. Maybe it's time. Google is even chat GPT. I'm pretty sure it can help and assist find your doctor nearest you. You don't have insurance. Let's call around, see where I can sign up. You know what I mean? And nowadays, we have so much access to so many things. Like, we can't keep putting excuses. Take care of your body, your mental health, your physical, your teeth, all the things in between. Alright, the third thing I have on my 20 things I learned in my 20s is show up for those who show up for you. I think this one is really important, and I feel like I learned this because, again, I had my daughter very young, right? I was 19 years old. Yeah, I'm a teen mom, technically, right? I'm a teen mom, and I was very young. There's a lot of things that I had to learn quickly, but one thing I will never forget, how much it meant to me when my friends showed up, and not just in a time of need, but like the little things. Like, I invited them to go to the park with me and my daughter. They would show up. I invited them to my father's birthday party. They would show up. I invited them to my daughter's daycare performance day. They would show up. You know, my daughter was hospitalized at some point. My friend showed up. My daughter had surgery one time. My friends showed up. You know, and those are things, and not just friends, you know, family members. I say friends because that's, you know, where I really was like, wow, it's so important. It means so much, you know, like for me now, like my friends are like my family. They've showed up for me time and time again, and again, not just in a time of need, just for the regular mundane things, you know. And that means so much to me. So like, if my friend is like, hey, my grandma's birthday, I'm gonna show up, you know. It's just, it shows that appreciation. It means a lot more than you really think, whether that person acknowledges it or not. Like, it means something. I feel like sometimes, like, we get so caught up in our own lives that we forget, like, all the times people showed up for us, and like, maybe we didn't give it that much importance, but it is important. My friends have showed up to every single one of my daughter's birthdays. She's had recitals at school. They've shown up for that. They show up for like my dog's birthday party that I wanted to randomly have. My friends will be on FaceTime or show up. If they can't show up, they want to be on FaceTime to sing happy birthday, to celebrate the little things, you know what I mean? And like, that means so much. That means so much to me. And I feel like nowadays, you know, everyone is caught up, everyone has problems. I get it, I have my own, but I don't forget to show up for others. Obviously, as long as it's not like detrimental to me in any way, right? Obviously, I show up for my friends. I try my hardest. Like, I want to be intentional about showing up for the people that show up for me. Even in the little things. You're moving, yeah, I'm gonna help you. You're painting your house, you want me to help. You're learning to cook something, do you want me to go over and like help you learn how to cook this? You're struggling to clean your house, yeah, I can come over and help. You need your closet organized and it's too much for you, yeah, I'll organize your closet. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so many things that I've done for my friends just because it means the world to me how they show up for me. I want to be there for them like that. So yeah, number 3, show up for those who show up for you. Alright, number 4 on my list of 20 things I learned in my 20s was the grass is greener where you water it. That's pretty self-explanatory. I feel like in anything in your life, in your relationships, sometimes with social media now too, you have access to view so many people's lives that we didn't before, right? And what we see on social media is just like a highlight moment, right? And it's so easy to say, wow, like I really wish I had this, or like I really wish I had that relationship, or that nice car, or that beautiful home, or things like that, right? But we forget that you can establish and have that version of that thing in your life. You know, you have to put in effort and commitment to what you have for that to flourish and grow, you know. But if you don't put in that effort to the things that you do have, don't think that like that next thing is gonna be better for you. No, it's better where you put in that energy, the effort, the attention, the love, the respect. And that goes for all things. That goes for relationships, platonic, romantic, all the things. You need to care for the things you have in your life, okay? Because I'm pretty sure that person with the nice house busted their behind to have that. That person who just got married, that marriage is not perfect. They put in the effort every day, show up for each other, and choose to love one another every single day. You know what I mean? It's not always better. You know, it looks that way, but I'm sure those people put in the effort to maintain or get the things that they have. Number 5 on the list of 20 things I learned in my 20s. When they show you who they are, believe them. Can't stress this enough. I think me specifically, I was talking from a place of like relationships with people. I've been in toxic relationships, romantic relationships that I stayed in way too long. There were signs that there were red flags, and I just chose to always give the benefit of the doubt, trying to work through things that didn't need to be worked through. You know what I mean? When someone shows you that they're comfortable disrespecting you, not caring for your feelings, things of that nature, you need to exit left, truly, because we always try to convince ourselves that like, oh no, it was because of this, it was because of this, it was because of this, and not like, you know, you will continue to make the excuses when someone shows you who they are. Believe them the first time, and be ready to exit left. Nobody is worth your sanity, your energy. Believe them. It won't get better, especially when there's no signs of like wanting to change or being a better person. It's all a choice, you know. So that one was a big one for me. I constantly made excuses for very poor behavior and allowed a lot of things, just because I'm giving people the benefit of the doubt that didn't deserve it. So when they show you who they are, believe them. Alright, number 6 on the list of 20 things I learned in my 20s. Never too late to start over, okay? This is so deep, okay? Never too late to start over. This is for myself. When I was about to leave a 6-year relationship, I remember I kept thinking like, I am in my late 20s, I have a daughter, I've experienced so much with this person, I should be, I was always always thinking like I should be at a different stage in my life, and I felt like the fear of starting over continued to keep me in a situation that no longer served me. I was always so scared. Oh my god, I'm almost 30. I'm this. But like, there is no set time. I could literally not be here tomorrow. You know what I mean? And that sounds so like morbid or whatever, but it's the truth. People start over all the time. There is no time limit on happiness. I see TikToks all the time of like women in their 50s, 60s, 70s getting divorced, and it's like, it's the most beautiful, refreshing thing. It's not easy by any means, okay? But you should never stay in a situation just because you think you're too old. You're never too old. You are never too old to start over. It's actually so refreshing. Like, I feel like I'm experiencing a different version of like life of myself, you know what I mean? Because I started over. And that's okay. There's nothing, a lot of people, you know, feel shame and embarrassment, and I get that truly. And this doesn't just apply to like romantic relationships. This applies to like school, if you're in college, and you're like, this is not for me, this major is not for me, you know, choosing a different major. If you live somewhere and you're like, I don't like living here, but you're too scared to move to the next state, you know what I mean? It's like, it applies to so many things. Sometimes we let society put like certain barriers on us, based on where we're at, our age, and like, oh my god, I should be X, Y, and Z, not literally trying to figure this out, you know what I mean? But it's so refreshing and it's so motivating when you finally do the thing for yourself and you're like, wow, like, it was worth it. Like, I needed to do this forever ago, right? It doesn't matter your age. Everyone deserves to be happy. You hate that job, go get another one. You hate that man, go get another one. You know, like, it is never ever too late to start over. If you've been at that company 15 years, they've never appreciated you, but you've been there 15 years, wipe your hands with them. You know what I mean? You've been married for 30 years and he cheated, and you're like, wow, I've invested 30 years of my life. Be done with it. The next 30 would be amazing with the next person. You know what I mean? Like, we need to stop settling in things that we're no longer happy in just because we have like this made up age limit in our mind. It's never too late to start over. Never too late to start over. As long as you're alive and able, you can start over. It's not easy, but you can and you should. Alright, number 7. I'm gonna start speeding it up because I feel like I'm talking a lot. This video is already super long. Number 7 on the list of 20 things I learned in my 20s. Be present and show gratitude. I fall victim to this all the time, where we stress so much about the future, so much that we're not like here, we're not present in the day-to-day. I tend to do this a lot as a single mom, you know what I mean? You're always like, how am I gonna, you know, buy groceries for next week? How am I gonna meet next month's rent? You know what I mean? That sometimes I've been so stressed and that I get in a bad mood, and my daughter's like, oh, let's play a game, and I'm like, you know, I can't right now, and that's not fair. You know, I'm doing her a disservice, I'm doing myself a disservice because I am so worried about the next thing, which is valid, right? But I'm also not being present, and that used to just like seep into the next day and the next day and the next day, and before I know it, I'm like, what even happened last week or the week before that? Couldn't even tell you because I was so up here. I wasn't in the day-to-day, you know? I've been really doing a lot of work on learning to be present and show my is gonna be. So you need to live it like it's your last, and that doesn't mean go crazy and wild out. No, that means like, wow, I woke up today, so grateful. I get to hang out with my kid today, so grateful. Like I get to eat, I have food in my fridge today, thank you God. Get to drink my yummy coffee that I love so much today. I am grateful. I am able to walk, talk, move, work. Thank you, God. And it sounds silly, but that's what life is made up from. All the little things day to day that like make us happy, but because they're small, I feel like sometimes we don't stop to like sit in that moment. Like every morning I'm drinking my coffee and I'm just like, I love this so much. I'm so grateful. I'm so happy right now because I have this yummy cup of coffee that I love, right? And I feel like it's helped me so much just working on my gratitude, being more grateful. I feel like when you show gratitude and are genuinely, not just say it, but like genuinely feel grateful for the things you have, you attract more into your life. You won't get more when you're not grateful for what you already have, and that's hard. That's hard to show gratitude when you're going through a struggle, whether it be emotionally, whether it be financially. It's hard to feel gratitude, not just feel gratitude when you're struggling. But it's definitely possible. It's all a mindset. It's all a mindset for sure. Alright, and that leads me into number 8. Number 8 on the list is be kind. Everyone is going through their own silent battle, okay? Every day, we probably walk by, drive by hundreds of people, okay? And I promise you, you're not the only one going through something. Every single one person that you walk by on the street, drive by, pass at a store, they have their own personal issues, okay? It doesn't take anything to be kind, okay? It doesn't take anything to just be polite, smile. Like, we don't have to be these miserable ass people, okay? Like I also am not making excuses for shitty behavior, truly not, but you don't have to like stoop down to that level. You don't have to engage. You can in your mind, okay, that was shitty. That person probably having a bad day. Wish them well and continue. You know what I mean? Like, everyone is going through something, and it does not take much to just wish them a good day. Say hello, good morning, hi, hope you have a good day. You know what I mean? That takes nothing from you. Even online, people get on the internet day in, day out, crashing out over some stuff, and people are just so hard and so mean and so aggressive. It's just like, honestly, wish them well and go about your day. You don't know what that person's going through, truly. It takes nothing to be nice. Alright, number 9 on the list of 20 things I learned in my 20s is use your favorite things now. Okay, this was a big one for me. I definitely for a long time had like a scarcity mindset. I didn't grow up having lots of money, and I feel like it was always like, if you have a nice dress, like, don't wear it unless it's a nice event, that body spray, only use it for special occasions, right? And me personally, I feel like that's where I got that thinking. But when I grew up and just started experiencing life, it's just like, you don't have to put a hold on the little things to make you happy. Use that perfume daily. You love it. That's why you got it. Use it daily. Burn that candle that you love. I would find myself like yourself that luxury, those little things that make you happy. Use your favorite things now, okay? Those shoes you love, those jeans you like to wear, all whatever it is, use it now. Don't wait for special occasions or special days. Number 10 on the list. Tables always turn, okay? Don't take karma into your own hands. And baby, we've all been victim of wanting to take karma into our own hands, okay? I've been done so dirty before, okay? And of course we all get so angry and like you want to like, we've all experienced that feeling of wanting to take revenge on someone for something they did to us or whatever the case may be, but it just takes way too much of your energy to want to get even. Let go and let God, because baby, I promise you, whether it be now or 10 years from now, tables always turn, okay? And think about how vindicated you're going to feel when it's like, I didn't have to do nothing because life got that person. It always happens, okay? And I get it. It's hard. It's hard when you want to get even or get them back, but it's not worth your energy, okay? It's not. You do the thing and it's like you're still angry. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard. I know it is, but trust me, it is not worth your energy or focus. Let's focus on moving past it, okay? To bigger and better things. Alright, number 11 on the list of 20 things I learned in my 20s. I gotta start moving a little faster because my phone gave me a 20% notice. Phone's dying. Okay. Everything is not black and white. Two things can be true at the same time, okay? That's something I struggled with a lot. I am a very literal person. I take things, like, if you say something, I take it for what it is. And that's something I struggled with a long time. You know, things, I'm always like, it's either this or this. And it's like, no, there is an in-between space that does exist. So that is something to just be mindful of. Everything is not black and white in every situation. It's not just black and white. Two things can be true at the same time. My friend always reminds me of that, like, yes and, you know, and it's really helped me through a lot of situations. So yeah. Number 12 on the list is celebrate yourself any chance you get. Small wins are just as important as the big wins, okay? I am notorious for celebrating. I love celebrating myself. I love celebrating any and every little thing, okay? Like, I finished that project for work. Yes, I deserve a nice dinner. I, cleaned my house every weekend this month. I deserve to celebrate myself, and when I say celebrate, I don't mean like lavish things or party or like, nothing crazy. It just means acknowledging those things that I do that I'm like, it took me some effort and work for this, or I didn't want to do it, but I did it. I'll treat myself to some ice cream or like a dinner date or just like any little thing, an extra coffee, buy myself breakfast instead of making it, you know what I mean? I'm so big on celebrating all your small wins. One thing I like to do sometimes is like, I don't drink soda too much, so like if I do something like that, I'm like, oh, that was tough, I'm like, I deserve to go drink a soda, like it's just little things like that, like little rewards, because life is hard, guys. Life is so freaking hard. We don't need to make things harder. Like, just being alive conversations, and it's something I'm currently still working on. I don't have to share my whole life with someone just because it's silence. You know what I mean? I struggle with awkward silence between me and people, especially nowadays with social media. So many people putting their lives out there, every detail of their lives, from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep. You know, it's okay to keep certain things private. You actually should. So many people having that much access to your day-to-day, it's not good for you. It doesn't sound safe. Also, like, I feel like sometimes it messes with your ability to make decisions for yourself, because you're used to everyone knowing everything and giving their opinion, and you know what I mean. So you don't have to overshare. It's okay to keep certain things private to yourself or very close family. I know a lot of us have fallen victim to that nowadays with the social media, so it's okay not to share every part of your life. Alright, number 14 on my list of 20 things I learned in my 20s is keep your promises to yourself. Okay, so if you say you're going to do something, do it, okay? That's how you show up for yourself. That's how you build confidence within yourself, okay? If you say, I'm going to wake up tomorrow at 5:30 to do an at-home workout, to go run, to go to the gym, to meal prep, to wash dishes, to put a load of laundry, whatever it is, do the things you say you're going to do, okay? Because that is how you build confidence, okay? A lot of us say we're going to do something and then we don't, and then it's like we're not showing up for ourselves, okay? And then the next time you say it, in the back of your head, you're like, I'm not actually gonna do it. And no, you want to be a person of your word. If you say you're gonna do something, do the thing, okay? Your future self, it will thank you, okay? Alrighty. Number 15 on my list of 20 things I learned in my 20s is healing is not linear, okay? It's a process. Life really comes in like ebbs and flows, okay? So it's okay to feel good and feel like you've processed and overcome a situation, and then maybe 10 months down the line, a year, 2 years, 3 years, you think about the situation and it hits you hard again. You know what I mean? That's okay. It's okay to have bad days. It's okay to have like bad periods in your life, you know, like it's part of our human experience, really. Not at all times. Things are not going to be great at all times, and that's okay. That doesn't mean that just because today you're crying about something that happened a few months ago, a year, 2 or 3 ago, that doesn't mean you have gone backwards in your healing journey. No, it's okay. It's okay to still have certain feelings and emotions attached to something you've experienced, okay? But that doesn't take away from the work that you've already done and continue to do. Healing is not linear, okay? Life is like this, okay? We have different emotions, different days, and that is okay. Show yourself grace and love yourself through the process, okay? Alright, number 16 on my list of 20 things I learned in my 20s is you can't control other people's actions or feelings. You can only control how you respond to it. Oh, that one was a tough one for me, okay? I am someone who always tries to have control of everything, of every situation, and I've had to learn I can't control a damn thing in this world, okay? I can't control nothing. I've learned, really, in my life, God is in control. The only thing I can control is how I react to something, how I respond to instilled something in my brain to like take a second before I react, before I respond, before I like just like act out of emotion, which is normal, okay? We're humans. We tend to act out of emotion, okay? Because I would often act out of just like the emotion I feel in that moment. I later regret, you know, how I acted or the things I said because I was just emotionally driven, angry because I couldn't control that person or the situation or whatever the thing may be, right? And it's definitely something that I have to constantly remind myself, I can't control that person. I can't control the thing. I can't control the outcome of every situation. I can only control myself. I'm only responsible of controlling myself, my feelings, how I process a situation. That is all. Everything else is in God's hands. You know what I mean? And that's an everyday struggle. Every day I'm reminding myself of this. So yeah. Alright, we're almost done. I hope my phone doesn't die. Number 17 on my list of 20 things I learned in my 20s. Stop worrying about what people think or say about you. Okay? This is something that, I struggled with very bad in my 20s. I limited myself from experiences, from doing things, all because I was too stressed about what someone else was gonna say, what someone else was gonna think of me, and that is like being in a cage, okay? If you are always constantly so anxious about doing things or experiencing things because of what others are gonna say and think, you're never gonna live to your full capacity, okay? You need to remember, everyone is going to have an opinion about any and everything, okay? Any and everything, whether they verbalize it or not. People are always going to have an opinion, a say, a thought about everything, right? That should not stop you from doing the thing, from, you know, experiencing X or Y, you know what I mean? Because you're going to live a whole life just restricted, not doing, all because you're like, oh, you know, what if they say what? The whole time that person is living the most chaotic life, right? But they didn't care about what you thought. Okay, so they're out living the life that they want, but you're sitting here caging yourself, making yourself smaller because of what that person is gonna think. You know what I mean? And that's something I struggled with so much, even just like starting my ASMR channel. For the longest time, I would not start because I was like, oh my god, people are gonna think I'm weird, you know, like people are gonna be like, oh my god, what the heck is Grace doing on the internet? And my friend reminded me, and I love her so dearly. She's always like, yeah, there might be some people that think it's weird, right? But you like it, so what? You know, and it's like you're so freaking right. Live your life, okay? As long as you are not harming others, putting yourself in danger, anyone else. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. Do the thing. Post the thing. Do it. Do it scared. Do it worried. But do it, okay? When I finally got the courage, I was so scared. Anytime I posted on YouTube, I was petrified because I'm like, oh my god, who's gonna see this, right? 17 goes hand in hand with number 18. Number 18 on the list is take risks. Like I was just saying, do it scared, do it nervous, as long as you're not harming anyone. So 17 and 18 kind of go hand in hand. Stop worrying about what people think or say about you and take risk. We only have one life, guys, and I know we hear that sometimes, but I feel like we don't really deep else's happiness or satisfaction. Do it for your own, for the things that bring you joy and pure happiness, okay? Alright, number 19. My phone's on 10 for a sec, guys. Okay, number 19 on my list of 20 things I learned in my 20s. Forgive yourself, okay? You are not your mistakes. Sometimes I think about decisions I've made in my past and I'm very disappointed. I'm very upset with myself and I'm very hard on myself. And I've had to learn that, like, I am not my past mistakes, okay? You have to forgive yourself in order to evolve into that better you, that higher you, you know? If you don't forgive yourself, you're never actually going to grow and evolve into that person that you do want to do. You know, I can sit here and say, I want to be a better person, I want to make better decisions, but if I'm still talking down to myself, being mean to myself over a mistake I made 5 years ago, I'm never gonna get there, you know, because I'm gonna subconsciously believe that I'm still that same person. And I'm not. It was a mistake I made. I regret it. I have shame, but you need to learn to forgive yourself. And something I remind myself, like, hey, it was a mistake and you know better now, so you're going to do better. And I do better. You know, it's not a pattern of like making a mistake and continuing to make the same mistake, you know what I mean? I've actually learned from my mistake and haven't gone back. So definitely learn to forgive yourself. You are not your past mistakes. Your past mistakes do not define you as a person, okay? Alright, number 20 on my list of 20 things I learned in my 20s is trust yourself. Trust your instincts, your intuition, that little voice in your head. Trust yourself. There's so many situations that I've been in